All right, hi everybody. Let's turn this over here like this. There we go. MJ here, we're live from the hot tub. Now, you didn't actually think that I was going to be like, buck or anything, did you? I hope not. Let me just make sure that my cables are all plugged in right here, okay? Yeah, good. I am, however, really sitting in a hot springs tub. And this is Elon City behind me. This is on the very northeast coast of Taiwan. It's actually not a bad town. It's called Jiaoxi, and we've been here before. We were here last year. I did some live streams from this town last year. So we decided to come back. I can see the highway out here. We're up pretty high. We're on the 7th floor. So looks like it's about maybe 35, 40 meters up, probably about 35 meters up. Yeah, so I brought my drone, and tomorrow I might drone around a little bit, but yeah, we're here with my wife in Phoenix, and we're just taking a couple of days. We're going to be here for 2 days in this hot spring resort, and then we're going to another one in Suao. That's about I don't know, about 25 kilometers south. It's also on the coast. These are all in special drone zones. You're not allowed to operate a drone on the weekend, but only Monday through Friday, and only from, let's see, you're not allowed to from 5 p.m. until 8 a.m. So there you go. You can go from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. So yeah, they're just trying to keep people from, I guess, wrecking the tourist. I don't know. I really don't know. But a lot of people only have time to fly and enjoy that on the weekend. And I noticed a couple of people popping in because of the YouTube thumbnail and on, of course, on Facebook too. And the title, live from the hot tub. They thought I was going to be here with a couple of chicks, right? Yeah, that would work. Yeah, that would really work. So for those of you who know me, I got a new cup. This is a sports cup. And it has actually a static impeller in it with fins. Powder and shake it up, or electrolyte powder or something. It also has a screen in it, which I like, because if I'm drinking, my rum and soda water with ice, it keeps the ice from coming out. But this is really cool because this top, it's on a little rubber lanyard, but there's a hole in the top that clips in a little kind of a nipple, I guess, on the back of this, and boom. And there, yeah, so it's really pretty ingenious. Now, the thing is, when you're in a hot tub, and I got a lot of experience, lots of experience with hot tubs, you really don't want to be drinking that much. You always want to be careful because the intense heat from the hot tub can really intensify the effects of alcohol. So, excuse me. I've had some sinus congestion for the last couple of days, and I used a nasal rinse with some salt, and it did not get it out, which kind of bugged me. But, I'll try not to snort too much for you guys. All right, so far, we've got nobody looking, nobody watching, except a couple of people who popped in and said, oh, it's a guy, and they left. That's okay. Not all times are convenient. Now, this is the first full moon night of the supermoon, and the official supermoon is going to be tomorrow night. That's when it's going to be over 99% illuminated. Unfortunately, it coincides with the Leonids, the Leonids, the famous this year too, except the moon is so bright, it obliterates a lot of the smaller, or the dimmer, shall I say, meteors. And so it's kind of bad. So we're going to be here for 2 days, and then we're going to go to Sual for 2 days. Then we're going to the Green Farm. We're going to Andreas's place for 4 days up in the mountains. Now, he's way up there. So we may be able to see some of the lingering effects of the Leonids. Good old Cavalon water. It's been hot, man. It's been unbelievably hot in the last several days. But it's nice to be in a different part of Taiwan. And these hot springs always straighten my back out. No matter how much pain I have and how bad things are, like joint pain and stuff, the intense heat from this underground hot spring water. Of course, you can mix it. There's controls over there. You can mix regular cold water with it because otherwise it would probably scald you. But I like the temperature about 42, around there. I've been in some hot springs that are as hot as 44. That's pretty darn hot. You can't stay in there too long. But one of the benefits of hot springs is that it raises your metabolism. So if you work out, go lift weights, do whatever it is you're going to do, and then you shower and clean off, and then hop in the hot tub and crank up the heat. When you get out, it keeps your metabolism at a higher level for a longer period of time. So it's like you're burning fat even though you're not doing any exercise. It's amazing. And just being in a hot tub without doing anything, it raises your metabolism. And so the cool thing is there are many places in Taiwan, because it's geothermally active, it's volcanically active, that you can hire companies to drill down and find hot springs water. So if you have a house and you'd like to have hot springs water in your house, if you can afford to hire the engineering firm to come along and do the research and then go ahead and do the drilling, you can actually bring hot springs water in your home. And that is a feature of a lot of the newer upscale homes, like in Hsinchu City, and in parts of Jubei, I understand, but and they had a bathroom that was a spa like this. It was amazing. In your own house, your private house. And boy, was it nice. So, yeah, it's nice to have, guests that can come over and visit, and they can use the hot springs spa. It's really nice. It's relaxing, and it's good for your health. And this is all based on Japanese culture because of, hot springs were popular in Japan for thousands of years. And when the Japanese colonized Taiwan, they took that culture here with them. And a lot of these places, like this hotel is a very, very high-end, upscale hotel, and has a Japanese name, and a lot of the signs and a lot of the nomenclature and stuff are in Japanese. And so it caters to a lot of Japanese visitors because it is Taiwan. It's pretty interesting. They find it an interesting place, and they can read most of the signs, which is good. And so we had another person pop on just for a second, and Facebook, and they went, it's just some guy. But the train's right over here. But yeah, this is really the whole industry, the Taiwan hot springs culture was developed by the Japanese during the Japanese colonial period. Isn't it? I think that's pretty interesting. Now, I just want to check something because I don't think we've had any comments. And I just want to make sure, yep, we have not. Without any comments, but hey, I want to say hi to everyone on YouTube and on Facebook. And I am MJ Klein, and we are in the hot tub, but I'm not naked. There was a guy in Periscope, I don't know what his name was, but what was that, Tommy Ball? Wow, there's some cool stuff around here. What I'm going to do, maybe tomorrow night I'll do a live stream. It'll have to be kind of late though. There's a lot of walking streets here with all kinds of street food. And the place we're going in Sewell, I think is going to be the same thing. So over the next couple of days, I might actually be live streaming 2 or 3 times. But anyway, there's a lot of really interesting dishes here. And I use my 360 camera at dinner on interval mode to take a picture every 60 seconds or every 30 seconds. So later on, I'm going to do some reframed photos of all the dishes that we ate. We had nine different dishes on the table. That's what we do in Taiwan. We just cover the table with dishes. It's pretty amazing. All right, so Thursday is my normal it's my normal live streaming night. I know it's unusual to come on in the hot springs tub, but as soon as I'm done with this live stream, I'm going to go ahead and fill this with water. Even though I've been drinking a little bit, I'm very, very careful. Probably going to stay in about 10 minutes. And what that does is that takes care of like lower back pain and joint pain. And what they often do, it's kind of a tradition. And you'll see this a lot in movies and in tourist movies, but they have these towels, they're about this big, and they dip them in the water, and people actually put them on their head, so the hot water is on their head. Sometimes they'll put it over their face, because they're trying to get the heat into their sinuses and into their head. And they also have these buckets, and this is a wooden bucket with 2 barrel stays on it, just like the old casks. Excuse me. This is a traditional wooden bucket. A lot of times they have the dipper that's plastic, but you dip in the water and you pour it on yourself, and it's very, very relaxing. A lot of the outdoor hot springs are segregated male and female, but they're naked. You have to go in completely naked. And sometimes these guys will just jump in and go swimming almost in the hot spring, like it's 40 degrees C, and they're just in there going nuts. Pretty crazy. But there's a common hot spring area here, and I've never been to it. I usually don't go to the common hot springs ones because you gotta wear a bathing cap. There's a law in Taiwan, and in any public bathing situation, you have to wear a bathing cap, and I hate that. I wore a bathing cap when I was a kid in Florida in the pools because all the men in the 70s had long hair, and our teachers, our coaches, made us wear bathing caps because the girls had to wear bathing caps, and the boys that had long hair had to wear bathing caps too. So I remember I borrowed one of my sister's bathing caps and it had big daisies on it. And I was trying to prove a point. Hey, coach, is this okay? Does this look all right? Yeah, okay, good. All right. Yeah, Klein, go ahead. Okay. And, everybody had a good laugh. But I usually don't go into the common pools. But the other thing, too, is I like to wear a T-shirt when I'm in these public pools. I think it's a courtesy to other people. I'm not the best looking person. The other thing too is I don't want to get a sunburn if I'm out in like in a water park or something, right? So, a lot of times these hot spring places, they won't allow you to wear a t-shirt in because it's dirty. And what you have to do is, before you can go in, you have to take a shower. See, here's the thing about Asia. If you guys remember, years ago, there was a Tom Selleck movie where he played a baseball player who was bought by a Japanese baseball team. And there was one scene where he came off the field and he just, dropped his clothes and just jumped in the tub. And everybody was all over him and chastising him. And there was one American player who'd been in Japan for quite some time, was trying to show him the ropes. And he said, "You shower before you bathe in Japan." And that's true here in Taiwan. Before you would get in a hot springs, you would take a shower to make sure that you're clean, because you don't want to get the water dirty. This is not a bathtub for cleansing. This is a bathtub for soaking and heat treatment. And so anyway, that's why they don't allow you to wear like street clothes, even in swimming pools. So one time I was in Taichung years and years ago. Gosh, this is when I was first in Taiwan. And I had a U.S. style bathing suit, which was basically long shorts and a net on the inside for, support, right? And so, this is funny. The guy comes to me and goes, you can't wear those. I go, "Why not?" He goes, they're shorts. I go, "No, these are swimming shorts." He goes, "No, they're not." And I said, "Yeah, they are." And I pulled them open and he saw the net and he saw everything else. And he was like, "Oh, okay. That was the idea, for him to leave me alone. But the common idea of a bathing suit for men here is a Speedo. And I've been to some places where they expect me at 66 years old, with a paunch, which I'm working on getting rid of. Shouldn't have got in the first place. But hey, the point is, I got no business. Hey, Jan, how you doing? Fist bump. I got no business wearing a Speedo. Like John Panette. Oh, gosh, I miss him. John Panette, the comedian from New England, said that he wore a Speedo and you couldn't even see it. Wow. But it's true that there are a lot of men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s wearing Speedos in Asia. And apparently, nobody points and looks. But boy, oh boy, if you walked out into a beach anywhere in North America, and you don't have a photo shoot type body, and you're a guy and you're wearing a Speedo, you're gonna get shamed. So, about the t-shirts, right? If I want to wear a t-shirt like at a water park or the swimming pool, I have to bring a t-shirt and show them that it's clean and I haven't washed it yet. And I have to tell them, I'm going to go take a shower before I go in the pool, and I'm going to put this t-shirt on and wear it in the pool. It's clean, and then they'll usually go, okay. And if they ask me why, I just tell them, from the sunburn, I want to get sunburned. And that usually, is good enough for them. So I tell them, I just want to cover up my big gut, man, because it's, probably wouldn't fly, because they'll go, well, look at that guy, and look at that guy, and look at that guy. It's like, okay, so. I'll ask my wife tomorrow if she wants to go into the common area. But they do have a gym here, which is great, because I've been trying to work back up into the gym. See, since I built a studio in my house, I haven't been working out that much, and it's kind of shameful. As you know, I've been planning the studio rebuild. I've been putting it off because, quite frankly, I'm looking at other places. I'm looking at some other places to live. So, hey, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Welcome to Elon. We're in the hot tub. Of course, there's no water in it, not splashing around, and I'm definitely not naked, but hey. So anyway, the thing is, I'm gonna move my gym around a little bit, so I got a little bit more access to it. But they got one on the third floor, so tomorrow I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna throw some weights around for a while. And the cool thing is, I went to the gym before and had some Cybex equipment, which is funny because I used to work for Cybex as an engineer. I was a consultant for a couple of years, and I became a staff engineer for them. But I'm gonna go down there tomorrow and throw some weights around, and then I'm gonna come back up here in this hot tub, man. I'm gonna blast some hot water, and that helps with recovery. And I'm really looking forward to that. I realized that if I lived over here in Elon, let me give you guys an idea. This is amazing. Now, 1 million NT dollars is about, let's see, so hang on. Yeah, it's about 300,000 US dollars. Is that right? No, sorry. It's 30,000 US dollars. 1 million NT is 30,000 US dollars. Okay? So, $100,000 is roughly like 2 million NT, something like that, right? So over here in Elon, there are a lot of new houses that are 5 years old or younger, and they want to. I gotta see this, man. Hey. It's MF. MF is one of my studio clients. And how are you doing, Mr. MF? So, yeah. Well, there's a shower over here and there's a bath here. So it depends. I mean, if hey man, if I'm in a hurry, it's a shower. But if I want to like relax and I've been working out and I got all kinds of tension and stuff, man. It's the hot tub. Yes, we're over here in East Taiwan. This is a view out the window. It's after 10 o'clock at night, so all these hotels, they shut the lights off. But if you go look at the thumbnail, which I took earlier, so I don't know. We're just talking about a lot of different stuff here, but about the houses here. There's a lot of houses that are 5 years or younger, right? And you can get a house that's got like four stories, 4 floors or 5 floors, an elevator, parking garage for 2 cars, a little piece of land, that you can put like have a yard and do some barbecue and stuff. And these houses are about 16 million NT. So you take 16 and you multiply that by 30,000, and suddenly you're like, whoa, that's cheap, man. And they're made out of this stone and stuff, because this is all granite, and this is, I'm not sure what this is. I think this is slate. It's hard to see, but let me show you this over here. This is like this, unbelievable. It might even be marble. And then down in the tub itself, it's slate. And that's how it is here. Look, like this beautiful stonework is everywhere. It's just nuts. And it's very upscale, And so this right here could be in a house. One minute latency? Yeah, well, that's, yeah, I know. That's the downfall of YouTube. But I think if you want to go to Facebook, I think Facebook might be to my Facebook, directly to my page. It's MJ Klein TW, just how it sounds. But oh yeah, so this is Costco rum, Caribbean rum, and some Schweppes, the original flavor soda water. That's all there is in it, and this is all I'm gonna drink because I don't want to have too much alcohol. And then when I'm all done with the live stream, I'm gonna turn these petcocks on, and the hot springs water is coming out of here. It's gonna take about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to fill this up to pretty good, because it's like, this thing is about 1.5 meters by 2 meters, almost 2 meters. Yeah, it's almost 2 meters this way and 1.5 meters this way. And it's probably about, I don't know, maybe 30. But man, when you get in it, the great part about it is, because the volume of water is so great, it stays hot, for a long time. It doesn't cool off easily. And the shower's right over here, and the shower pressure is enough to blow you out of the room. It's crazy. And interestingly enough, I've talked about this before. Asian showers. Here, I'm not on the gimbal. Let me do this. I'm not using the gimbal, but I don't care. Let me just do this. I'm gonna go ahead. Come on. Hello. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's the mount. Sorry. Hang on. Let me do this. Sorry about that. All right. That's the shower, and you'll notice that. Whoops, cancel. What happened? Hold on. This fell. Sorry about that. I wasn't prepared to do this. There's a shower mount up here, but there's one down here too, which is lower. And then there's a bench. So the great part about it is you can sit on the bench handle in the lower hanger, and then you can put it on your back or whatnot. And I think I may have mentioned this before. Sometimes it's funny because like the, oh no, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, I see. Well, you can cast it if you look at Facebook on a Chromium-based, web browser. You should be able to cast that way. But some of the hotels that I've been in, it's funny. They have a spot to put the shower handle, up high. Then they got a spot to put the shower handle up low for washing your backside. And I was like, just practicality. But being that low too means that if you want to sit on a low stool, it's not just that, but you can have it like hitting, right here, and you can, hold your arms up, and especially if you've been lifting and you got a bunch of lactic acid and stuff going on in your muscles, so you want to just sit there and have that nice hot water on you. That's great, man. That's fantastic. So yeah. I mean, but do you see what I got to put up with living in a country like this? Yeah, I said it, country, and I mean, having to deal with cheap. I gotta tell you, this place would be. Oh. This place here is about $120 probably, I think, a night. And I'm telling you right now, with all the gratuities, the mini bar is stocked, it's all yours. There's a gym, there's a playroom with Nintendo, they got all kinds of services, there's free breakfast included, it's really big, it's great. Hot springs, as much as you want to use. I mean, this place would be $400, $500 a night if this was somewhere in the United States. It would easily fetch that. And in my own personal line group, which we call Late Night, for my followers, we have 35 people in the group, pretty nice group. I posted some photos today. I posted some 360 photos and some flat photos, but I'll probably post them on Facebook too. Now here's the thing, it's sort of a dilemma. I'm gonna lower this down a little bit. It's sort of a dilemma because for years I had the photo blog, right? And then that was too much. And I'm doing live streaming and I'm doing everything else. I'm doing recording and stuff. But I find sometimes that I want to write an article about something and I want to, post a bunch of photos and things. And I'm not using my old blog anymore. I'm kind of disconnected from the old blog. The old blog was like, the old days. We traveled to Laos. We traveled to Thailand a bazillion times, United States a couple times, Hong Kong a bunch of times. I don't remember if I wrote about China. I think I did. Been to China. All these places we've been to and traveling and so forth. And since my daughter was born, it's kind of a new era, and I'm doing the Real Taiwan project now. And I've really been thinking, because I can very easily do what I have. I have a reseller internet account where I can make an unlimited number of websites that I want up to, my storage space. But it's a commercial account, so I run so many sites, it was just made sense for me to get a commercial account. Or I could have a new, blog, the Real Taiwan. I just don't know if I want to go there. I don't know if I want to be bothered, because I do have a Flickr Pro account and I could upload all the photography to Flickr and just embed the photos, and any videos that I do on YouTube, I just embed them too. But, because sometimes I do want to share some stories and so forth, but like for example, on this live stream, if I show you 360 photos, they don't work. But for example, if I use the Prism Studio, and I go here and I tell it to add media, and I pick one of the flat photos that I took of the room when I first came here, like this one, and this one. These are all flat photos. So if I show you, like for example, this is what it looks like. That would look pretty nice on the blog. This is where I'm sitting. I'm sitting in that corner right by that bucket. And of course the photo now, you're looking down on it, right? From a higher angle. And this is another shot of the rest of you back through. Right here in front of me is a hole. And you see that little hole with the black granite? That's where the tripod is sitting right now with the camera on it. And then this is what the room looks like. And the room is asymmetrically shaped. The big picture windows at the end on the other side of the bed, the beds are all at an oblique angle. And if you look straight ahead to that door and right through that hole, that's where I'm sitting right now. And that's where the hot springs room is. So yeah, it's nice to be able to show that stuff on a live stream, but it's also nice to be able to show that on a blog. But the problem is now, of course, I got a drone now, so I'm doing drone stuff, and I'm making more movies and making more records. And MF, who you saw earlier, right? He's one of my studio clients. He's writing a whole bunch of new tunes, man. They sound great, and I'm going to mix and master all of them. And so I got a lot of work ahead of me, but that's okay. That's what I do. I'm just saying I got to be real careful how I allocate my time. As much as I'd like to do another photo blog, I don't think I can. I probably would only post to it once every 6 weeks. See, that's the reason I didn't keep up my original one. See, my original photo blog I started in 2005. And I started I won like every Taiwan blog award that you can win. So many times I finally told the people running the awards, just don't put me in anymore. I've won enough. Give somebody else a chance, because it was very, very, very popular. So much so that I've been on at least one TV show, because the producers looked me up online and wanted a local blogger to. Talking about that with Phoenix Today. That was before she was born. I need to make a copy of that and show you guys that, because I don't think I ever did. I'm not a very big self-promoter. But, yeah. I had to give it up, I had to give up, sorry, I missed that comment. I had to give up the photo blog because it was just too much. Oh, I missed where you said Nintendo is an amenity. Yes, it is. Mike, I ordinarily don't ask people to leave the broadcast, but why don't you leave, wait 10 seconds, and come back and see if it catches up, because that's really, really bad latency, really bad. I got to talk to Jake, because can you say? You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, and we always have a good relationship. That is, you and I and our our followers and everything. So yeah. Got some criticism coming up, that's okay. We're ready. I know what it is. You want me to put bubble bath in here and fill it all the way up and just sit in up to my neck in bubble bath. That's what you want. I know it's what you want, so. I've been using that caffeine stuff, guys, on my hair. Caffeine shampoo, and there's a caffeine liquid that you use kind of as a hair dressing. Sometimes I use hair wax on it to keep it from flying. But I noticed tonight I took a shower, and they want you to leave the caffeine on for 2 minutes. Well, the first thing I did is I got in the shower, and the first thing I did was I put the caffeine on my hair, and then I rinsed my face off so it would be clear of the shampoo. Step back from the shower, then I used the stool over there, and I used my Panasonic Arc 5, wet or dry, unbelievable electric razor. Heard me talk about it a million times, and I shaved my face, and I had not shaved for 5 days. It took about 20 minutes, but it decimated. It's amazing. It feels like a bladed razor. And so I left that stuff on my hair for about maybe almost 30 minutes. Rinsed it out, toweled off, and then I used the caffeine liquid, and it seems to be making a difference. It seems to help. This is funny. I've always had really robust hair, and it's only been in the last couple of years I had to worry about that. Moving later in life. Let me read this again. Moving later in life exacerbates ailments, brain problems. Yeah, but if you heard that on public radio, I think that applies to people in America, but you got to understand, I don't like that. Bubble bath would work, it would. The supplements that I take and the anti-aging stuff that I take, I don't have problems learning, new things. And like, for example, even at my age, my language skills are constantly improving. Every single week I'm learning and things like that. And And you guys know me, like I just bought a drone. I never had one before. Who buys a drone at 66 and starts making movies? I don't know. I got a lot of gas left, so I'm really not worried about it, but I appreciate where you're coming from. I appreciate the concern. But for me too, a move can also regenerate people. You know, it can give them kind of a new lease on things, a new viewpoint, a positive viewpoint. And I'll tell you right now, if I had a house that had a hot spring spa in it, it would really increase my my health significantly. It would change my metabolism for the better. It would motivate me to work out more, because a lot of times I do have some body pains and I don't want to do things. The mattress hurts me or something, or you know, I sat on the sofa too long or something, or I'm in the studio too long. And you know, like I was talking about earlier, you know, all the things that I'm doing, like studio is one of them. These hot springs, I mean, I was telling my wife a couple of weeks ago, I need to go to the hot springs. I need to spend like 2 or 3 days. And so we got 4 days. We're going to be here in this one in 2 days and the other one in Suau in 2 days. I'm going to spend a significant amount of time in this thing, even tonight. I'm going to sleep like a drunken sailor. I'm going to pass out. I'm going to wake up tomorrow afternoon, not from drinking. This is the only drink I've had. Just because there's something about what the hot springs does for your metabolism. It's amazing. But that being said, I've been rambling for 45 minutes almost. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to say goodnight. And appreciate everybody joining. I'll let you know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm tied up tomorrow until probably after 10. I don't know what's going on with these streets here. I was here last year, guys, remember? So I did several like walking around kind of nighttime live streams. So I'm not too worried if I can't make it tomorrow, where it'll be like, you know, like it was before. But I'm going to be in Suau on Saturday and Sunday night. And so, yeah. And then Monday we're going to Andreas. And Andreas is 750 meters high in the mountains in Hualien. And I'm going to be there for 4 days. We're going to be cooking together. I left my Dutch ovens there. We're going to be cooking together. And yeah, especially if you do a couple things. If you get rid of all the junk you haven't used and you clean out, it's a fresh start. And then you have room for exercise equipment, and you make a spot for places like, you know, put your yoga mat. I don't do yoga, but I use a yoga mat so I can do things on the floor like planks. And I do use a foam roller. I use the foam roller on my upper back. I use it on my neck. I use it on my upper thighs, you know, on the front, and anywhere else, you know, that I need it. And yeah, so if you have room for all that stuff when you move, that's really great. But I'm going to be at Andreas for 4 days. And you guys know Andreas because I did a live stream from there about 6 weeks ago. And I left my Dutch ovens, 3 Dutch ovens there. So he and I are going to be cooking. I'm going to bake a cake. I'm going to get him to make some bread dough. I'm going to bake this bread for him in a Dutch oven on a campfire. He's got a smoker that he built, and he's probably the only other guy that I know besides me that gets it. I designed a smoker too and had it built in Thailand. And I've done a lot of engineering work on smokers and a lot of design work over 20 years on that kind of technology, because it's just interesting to me, you know, and I understand the principle. Bunch of pork for me, because I'm going to cut it up into cubes and I'm going to Dutch oven cook it in a dish with several types of beans over an open fire for about 6 to to 8 hours, and it's going to be off the charts. And we can stream there. We can also drone from there and do a lot of aerial photography. They have a sunflower field within walking distance of their farm. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a sunflower field, but the first time I ever saw that, I was with my wife. We were riding in the pickup bed of my friend Mr. Banchope. He's my Thai friend. He's an international attorney. And he was taking us to someplace, and we were in, gosh, I don't know if we were in Loy or Khon Kaen. Anyway, we're up far up north, so. Oh yeah. And I brought my guitar. I brought my Queen guitar and the amp. We're going to be playing and singing and stuff, and we're going to be there for 4 nights. So who knows? We may live stream all 4 nights, and I can even live stream in 360 if I want to. Yeah. So anyway, I'm really, really tired. Now you guys know me. How many times have you seen me lose my train of thought? 2, 3. But yeah, I'm super tired, so that's what's going on. Anyway, gosh, what was I saying? This doesn't normally happen to me. I had a bad day today. I got very little sleep last night, and then I woke up this morning, I couldn't sleep again. So I had a couple of problems that I had to solve before I left the house. I'm having problems with my automated exhaust fans in my foyer. Anyway, I fixed it. And then I was getting something to eat, and I started having heart palpitations, really weird stuff going on. And I took medicine, it didn't really help, and so I ended up taking a nap, and I just haven't, I'm sleep deficient again, and it's been bugging me, so. But we're gonna be at Andreas's, and we're talking about Loy, and I was with Banchope. Oh, the sunflowers, yes, of course. So we were driving along, and all of a sudden there's sunflowers everywhere on both sides of the road, and I tapped on the window, the back of the cab of the pickup truck, and I said, can you stop? It's just a sunflower field, it's a farm. And I said, well, do you think the farmer would mind if we, just walked into it and took some pictures? And he just told us, no, just stay on the, on the path, you can stand, there's the, I guess they're called furrows. Just don't trample don't break any plants. He says, oh, we can do that, that's easy. And so some of the cutest pictures I have of my wife are, and I took a couple of us together, are in this sunflower field. And there's a sunflower field near Andreas's. I want to take my wife and daughter there, and I want to do like a drone perspective, like a what I'm talking about, like a point of interest, what I'm saying, where the thing, where it goes around like this kind of, you know what I'm saying. And he's up high in the mountains. So Taiwan's drone altitude limit in that zone is 120 meters, but it's 120 meters over terrain. So he's already 750. So he'll go 120, and then there's a cliff and like this. So they're going to be flying at the higher altitude. They're just going to keep going. So I can maintain that monstrous altitude over that valley floor, and that's what I want to show. That's what I want to do. So. Yeah, well, it's something I've always been good at, on my feet, having the national talk show and so forth in the old days. But isn't that kind of a sign, though, of a person's cognitive abilities? You know what I mean? I think we're seeing evidence of that now. And all I'll say is, in the political realm, we're seeing evidence of political leaders who may be losing some of their cognitive abilities and not able to keep a train of thought and so forth. But of course there are there are mitigating circumstances, you know, and I mean, I'm not so hot if I'm super tired. But most of the time, you guys have seen me juggle 4 or 5 different trains of thought and be able to come back to them and so forth. So yeah, I'm beat. So I think I'm going to sign off. As soon as I sign off, this is cool. This is the plug. It's a big rubber ball because the drain hole's like this big. It has to be that big or it would take 2 hours to drain. But here's the big stopper. So if I go like this and drop it like right in the hole, that bounces like a super ball, and then oh, there it is. I'm going to fill this sucker up with hot water and see what my wife and daughter want to do. My daughter's too old for me to get in the tub with her naked, so I wear I always get in with a towel, or I'll put my undershorts on or something like that. I have, hey Ken Rod, fist bump. I have like technical, like this is a technical shirt too. All of my undergarments are technical. You know, these are quick dry and all that stuff. So if I'm in the hot tub and I wear some technical like briefs or something like that, they're dry in 45 minutes, no problem. So we may all just get in here and relax, but this is all the alcohol I'm going to drink. I'm all done, not drinking anymore. But I will tell you what, I did bring the whole bottle with me. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kirkland Caribbean Original Spiced Rum. See this? Don't get between me and this. Just don't. Don't. Did I say don't? Don't get between me and that? Yeah, don't. That's the most amazing thing. But Andreas distilled some rum. He has 55 gallons, and he put some in one of those mini casks. The mini casks that the master distillers use when they want to like accelerate maturation. Because if you put something in a huge barrel, it takes several years for you to notice any difference. But if you put it in a small barrel, the ratio of the amount of liquid to the surface area of the barrel is such that the surface area of the barrel is so great that a matter of a few days can equal like several years maturation in a standard size cask. And so he showed me some rum. Last time I was there, you guys remember, right? He showed me some rum that he had made and he had put in that cask for 10 days and it was already golden. And it smelled like whiskey because it was a whiskey cask. But let me tell you, when I took a sip of that, it was unbelievable. So, yeah, he's got that stuff too. So we're going to be, exploring all of that. So, all right, I want to thank everybody for joining MJ tonight in the hot tub.